Hi everyone, welcome to take 2 of the Slice demo chat information video. First of all, let's see who's in the chat and can you see me and can you hear me? Is the mic okay? Is it too loud? Is it just right? And just say hi in the chat and let me know where you're tuning in from. I can see we've got Marie and we've got Avril and Anita, and we've got Megan and Susan in the chat just looking after you guys tonight. But everything should be okay. But if you get stuck or I say something and I've got my head down and you go, what did she say? Just pop it in the chat and I'm sure either Susan or Megan will pick up for you. Hi Robin. Seeing here just fine. Hi Harry, joining from Caravan in Scotland. Wow, I hope it's not as windy up there as it is here. And hi Kim from California. Fab. Okay, so the last time I attempted to do this, a couple of weeks ago, I had both cameras play up on me. We had this one here in front of me within 5 minutes of the stream ending. Rob had it in pieces and we were watching YouTube videos, and I was furious to find out that for such an expensive item, these two, that it's a common fault. That the focus went basically, and then the other one, which is even more expensive, kept flicking red. So it might flick tonight. I've updated all the software, all the drivers, everything possible. And then last week on the Q&A session, if you were with me on that one, we had the internet dropping in and out. Today we have gale force winds and storms, and our electric has been dropping out. So fingers crossed that we just get through this okay. I'm keeping an eye. If anything starts buffering, just put it straight in the chat that it's buffering and I will stop, wait for it to try and catch up again. And if I need to repeat anything, I'll repeat it. It's absolutely fine. Hi Barbara. I'm sure you've got the same weather as me down in South Wales there as well, Barbara. It's horrendous here. And hi Kate. So, I'm a bit slow today because I've been in the studio since 8 o'clock this morning. I'm working on the donkey, which I'll show you in a bit because that was all done using the Slice basically. So the Slice tools for me, I'll show you. I've got them all here. Everything I want to basically go through tonight. What you need, what you don't need, what to avoid buying. If you're going to buy, sort of, I've got some discount codes. And which blade you don't really need to bother with, and also a way of buying cheaper replacement blades as well. So I'll cover lots of things. So hi Frank, hi Philip. Wet and windy in Scotland and cosy in the caravan. I know, I can't wait to get cosy. It's cabined up, I think we call it. Cabined up on the sofa in a bit with the dogs and a blanket. So I'm going to go through all the tools that I've got. I'm going to do some demonstrations. I've got some scratch board. I'll show you a few pieces. I've got the other donkey that I started on the aqua board. That is now not going to be finished, so I'll use that as a demo as well. Anything you want to ask. I'll try and answer it. If not, I'll try and show you it. I've even pulled out some pan pastel to try maybe on pastel mat, just to show you why it kind of works but doesn't quite work on that. So Slice Company, Slice was founded back in 2008 by a guy called TJ Scamoni. Really lovely guy. And I was introduced to the tools. It was a retractable. It wasn't the manual blade. It was the auto retractable blade on the pen cutter 3 years ago in September, when I was on the first US workshop tour. And I was in Seattle on the first stop of the tour, and one of the lovely attendees from Canada came up to me at the end, because at the time, let me just switch the camera over. At the time, I had been using metal blades, so I was using these metal blades, and I've got another one. I used to basically buy them in packs like this. I used to buy packs of these blades for my students. So I've got tons of these packs of metal blades here. I do use them still for cutting, like foam board, my mount boards a little bit as well. I use the metal blades still for cutting my pastel mat as well with a metal ruler. I don't tend to use my my slice blades for that, because I quite like the thinness of the metal, and I can feel it sinking through, so they do still have a purpose for me. But I was forever cutting myself. If I lose the little plastic covers, I'd find when I was going off to workshops and things, they'd be cutting through my bag or through other things surrounding it, which I wasn't happy with. I do still as well use the metal blades for sharpening my pastels, so there is a place for the metal blades, but they are a little bit dangerous. They go rusty, and they also go blunt really quick, so that is the downside of them. But of course, you know, that was all I knew, so I was given this, you know, slice pen cutter, and I was like, oh my god, it was the best thing best thing ever. I was so excited. You know what it's like when you discover something new that you can use in the art world that you didn't realise you could before? Well, it was one of those moments, and I didn't look back. So TJ set up the company back in 2008, and basically he's really into design, and he worked with and collaborated with lots of designers, basically to make the world of cutting instruments, it's mainly for the manufacturing industry, to make it safer and to make it sort of like a bit more ergonomically and funky design, which they are compared to, you know, sort of the scalpel blades. I mean, these are just literally a scalpel blade, and then there's a plastic handle which accommodates it to make it usable and holdable. There's nothing pretty, there's nothing really ergonomic about it. They're just plastic, lightweight. They're not designed really for artwork, they're just multi-purpose craft tools. Surgical blades. So he worked with designers to create this fab range, and they are constantly working on this. And then I did a video just comparing one of the slice tools to a cheaper version that was on Amazon at the time, and TJ picked up on it, got in touch, and we've been in touch ever since. And every now and again he'll get in touch and say, oh, we've got this new thing coming out. He said, I'll get the guys to send you it, like nice bag here for storage. So it is a nice relationship. And the other thing as well is TJ's got an autistic son, which again, I've got a very autistic niece, and 1% of all the sales of slice range of tools gets donated to autism research, which again is just a nice thing. So I'd imagine over the year, with the franchises all over the world, that is a decent hefty donation that goes through. So in here I've got a load of bits and pieces. So things like the scraper, it is brilliant because it sounds funny. Well, I'm not going to use the scraper for my art. I do, because when I got sticky tape or anything all over, say, my artboard, things like that, I use the scraper. It's brilliant. You can spray stuff down. And there's the other thing, some of the things, I'll just go over some of the things. Obviously these stay sharp. I think it's up to 11.2 times as long as a stainless steel blade. So, you know, they stay sharp. So even though the blades are expensive, they last a very long time. I'd say they last a lot longer than, say, 10 of my metal blades, and it's just the difference in the cuts that you can make and the patterns that you can make. You can put these things, if you needed to, you can put them in the dishwasher and it will clean the blades as well, so you can wash them, so they're not going to rust, so you can wash them, you can get them in hot water. Is there anything else in there? Finger friendly. Okay, so I mean, they're designed, what you've got to remember is these tools are all designed for the safety side of cutting in heavy duty industry. They are not designed for the art world. They've been commandeered by us guys to work for us in the art world, and Slice have picked up on that and like to promote it. But if something goes wrong with the blades and they snap or anything like that, they will turn around and say, well, it's not designed for that purpose. The tools are designed for cutting. To be honest, I think that, because that's why they've got a bit of give. Some of you will say the pen cutter, you might have a wobble, and the new pen cutter, the slim new pen cutter, which is this one here, it's got a bit of a wobble, it's got a bit of a give to the actual blade. That's because that give is needed for opening boxes. It's not designed to hold still for us to do perfect work, so we have to work with those little problems. So your scraper is a good little tool to have. And then I've got other things in here. We've got, which I'm going to demonstrate, we've got the pen cutters. I don't know if I've got mine. No, I haven't got the auto retractable one in here. I had it on the last demo, so it can't be far. Okay, so the orange one of the pen cutter. The pen cutter is the one I've used the most, I guess, over time. It fits beautifully in the hand. It's very ergonomic. It holds like a pen. Literally, it's weighted. So the orange one means you've got the manual positioning. The green one auto retracts, so it shoots back down. If you've bought one of those by mistake, just bind some sticky tape. Put it into position and bind some sticky tape around it, and it will hold the blade up for you. It's not ideal, but that's what I did originally, because that's the only one I had. And when I came back to the UK, there weren't many places selling these tools. You can get them obviously on Amazon and everything now, and Slice UK have picked up the pace and made them more available. But 3 years ago, they weren't available unless you want to buy a box of 24 at a ridiculous price from a safety company. So pen cutter is one that I love, but always make sure you get the manual pen cutter. So that's this one here. So they say finger friendly. You can cut yourself on them. They're not, sort of invincible. You can't just rub them over your finger. They're designed to cut. They will cut you. But if there's a less chance of you stabbing yourself than those metal blades, guaranteed cut when they were sharp, that is. So a couple of the other ones I'm going to show you, and I'll show you how to change the blade. I'll show you some of the replacement blades, and also talk about the price of them and how you can get them cheaper. So if we go on to blades, and the good thing about these packs is when you go online to the website as well, you can see which blades fit which tool. So the tools that we are interested in is the pen cutter, obviously. So we've got the pen cutter, the manual one. The craft knife. This is the other craft knife, so it's called a craft cutter. The only difference between these two is this is the original one, and it had a lid here. And the lid, because again, working in the safety industry and manufacturing, their guys were losing the lid. So they've made this orange piece here is literally the lid that comes up, so you can't lose the lid. So that's the only difference between those two. And then you've got the scalpel, which is kind of just literally a bit like our metal bladed ones, as in they're literally a blade with a handle that fits on there to make it be able to be used as a knife. Really light, as you can see the size difference there, really slim, but they do the job because it's nothing really to do with the handle, it's the blade that matters, it's the blade that we are interested in. So those are the four main ones. There is another one which is a bit of a weird one, which is the precision knife. This one, I've got one here and I need to fit a new blade because I broke the blade on it, and not doing anything to do with art the other day, but I think because we're packing up to move the house and emptying the house, I think Rob did something with it and it literally snapped the blade off. So I've got some replacement blades here for this one, and this one is designed to fit over your finger like this. And you can use the blades, if you're left-handed or right-handed, you just turn the blade around. This one, you can work both directions at the same time. But the only thing I found, because I've got small hands, little fingers, it wobbles about a little bit. I tried it on the middle one, not as successfully. It does work, it just doesn't fit me well. But I think if you've got the right size finger, a bit of a chunkier finger, a gentleman maybe, that would be really well. You've got so much control over that, and you're quite close up to the blade, almost like your nib of your pencil. You're right there. So I do actually recommend that one. It's just it doesn't fit well for me. So we are going to look at the blades quickly, and then I'll show you on the knives where that importance lies. So the pen cutter, there's only two blades that fit those. So when you go on the website, you can turn on the packs, obviously you can turn them over, but on the website there's a little drop down you can go on to, and it will show you which blades you can buy, and those are the ones that you order if you need replacement blades. I think I use my pen cutter for about a year, heavy duty, I go in hard with it as well, and I didn't need to replace my blade. I'm a bit spoilt at the moment because I've splashed out because I spotted a really good bargain, a sale, and I've got about 10 years supply of blades at the moment. So the blade that it comes with is the 10404, and it will tell you on the bottom of the pack there, it comes with the 10404, and it's the rounded tip. So if you see here, it's the rounded tip at the top there. You can also get the 10408, which is the pointed tip. We don't want the pointed tip. This is the whole thing. You think, oh, finer detail, I want the pointed tip. No, the pointed tip is too sharp. It's going to cut your work, especially if you're nervous about using it. There's a greater chance because it is so sharp. And it is exactly the same for your blades that fit with all these other ones with the handles. So I'll move the pen cutter out of the way. So if you see, all of these come with exactly the same blade in there, and it's the 10518. See the 10518, and this one here, the 10518. The 10518 has got a straight edge. It's called the straight edge, but it's actually rounded tip. It's not the super pointed. If you look here, the 10519 is the super pointed. We don't want that one. We want the 10518, and it is the standard one that all of these come with. You can use others, and I've tried the others. The curved one is brilliant. I was using that one yesterday, and it is, again, you can see the rounded tip on there. I'll show you them in a second. It's not much difference to this one up here, really. I managed to get it to take away bigger chunks of pigment, which is quite nice. So sometimes you want to take away bigger chunks, but then you want to be able to control it to take away smaller chunks. I have tried the corner stripping ones, and again, it's quite central. I've got these here. These are the corner stripping blades. As you can see, they just come up to a point in the centre rather than being off to one side. Yeah, Avril, I love the craft knife. Beautifully weighted, but I use the blade out of the precision knife. Ah, okay. But it should be the same blade. Precision knife. Okay. Hi, Linda. The chisel blade, I have used that. You can use it for taking off huge areas, because I use this on scratchboard as well. These tools has replaced my stainless steel ones for scratchboard. And scratchboard, you get lots of different shape tools for lifting off, for lifting off small amounts of pigment, small marks, creating different basic textures and marks. And we can do that with just a couple of tools from our slice range. So you don't want to be interested in the seam ripper, obviously. So mainly we're talking about the straight edge, possibly the curve. The chisel will work, and you can use both corners there, which means you've got double the use if you pop the chisel one in. You can work to the left and to the right. It's very good, ambidextrous. You can work both ways. And obviously the rounded tip. I can put all this up in an information sheet for you, and maybe if I circle on here and I'll scan it and pop it up on Patreon for you. So those are the main things. When you want to buy replacements, as I was saying, they come in packs of 4. Now, unfortunately, okay, back Frank, I'll see you later. Thanks for joining in anyway. So, unfortunately, they come as a fixed pack at the moment of 4 of the same. I would love it if they would put in sort of 4 different ones. That would be really good if they put in 4 different ones. And here I've actually got, this is a pack of the 10408, so these you can see are the super sharp ones. Let me just get my pen cutter out again. Got that many things here. So here you can see the difference in the blade there. You see how pointed these are and how sharp, so that's why these are in the pack. I like the rounded tip. I will get one of these out if you want to try. But I say, they do make me a little bit nervous. They are so different to the roundedness of these here. And you can use these to take off tiny, tiny details, thicker details, depending on which way you hold them, which I'll show you in the demo. Okay, everybody with me so far? So with the packs, these replacement packs, now I've got a feeling, in America obviously they're going to be cheaper, because most things are cheaper in America, believe it or not, because they're made over there. Chipped the end of one of them, which is why I thought they were different. Ah, okay. Over here, these replacement blades are not cheap if you buy them direct from Slice. I think they're between £20 and £25. I'm not sure, but I know they're not cheap. But if you think about one of them will last you a good 6 months, then it's not that expensive, especially if you use them a lot in your work. Now, I got directed towards, we've got an office supplies company here called Staples. And a couple of months ago, someone flagged up to me that some of the slice things were being cleared out. I don't know if it's because it's old packaging, because now, obviously, the new ones have got, like, 11 times. So these had 10 times, and they were just clearing out. And you can find it, you've just got to be on the ball. They also make the same blades, exactly the same blades, go into Stanley tools. So if you know Stanley tools, Stanley knives, they make a slice version, or Stanley version of the slice tool, so it's exactly the same, it's just branded Stanley. I think it's green and that as well, but again, you can get the blades and that through Stanley. It's exactly the same. Slice have patented them. So just look out online, office supplies, safety supplies, just scan it every now and again, see if any of the blades are on offer, because I think these blades came up, I've got some packs of the rounded ones, these blades came up at between £2.50 and £4 something for a pack of 4. So as you can see, because I do workshops, and obviously Slice have sent me loads of stuff at discount for my workshops, which aren't happening at the moment, but they will be next year. So as you can see, I basically went out and I've bought plenty, but that's because I need them for students and workshops as well as me. So I wasn't being greedy, honest. So I am going to speak to them to see if there's a potential that they could do like mixed blades in here. So, sort of like 2 of the rounded and then 2 of the curved or something like that, or just a pack of 4 different ones. Because I just think, the Chisel Tip is a really good little one to have. I think I did have the blades here. Got that much stuff here. The other thing that you can get as well, here's the blades, here's the Chisel Tip. So let me just show you these. So there's 2 different chisel tips there. I seem to have got a straight one, and then there's a shaped one there as well. I'm not sure if that's an old one. There's the rounded one. There's the pen cutter rounded one. And that's the rounded, the 10518 straight edge, and it's got the rounded tip on the end. Okay. The other thing, the other thing that you might want to use if you're a crafter and that as well is you get the ceramic scissors. I haven't taken these out, and I was looking at these earlier, and I know they're pointed, but I'm thinking you could possibly just turn these, open them up, and probably use these as a tool as well. I might give it a go on a piece just to see how it goes. And then other little things, good little safety cutter, really handy to have in your, if you go off to workshops or anything like that. Lovely little cutter just for cutting through tape and different things. It's a nice little thing to have. So there you go. Right, so let's have a look at some of these closer. Oh, there is one last one I want to show you. I'll take all of these out because we're going to give these a go. Move everything to one side. Have a looser set similar to pan pastels. Right. Okay. So the last one, and this has been rebranded now. I think it's orange and white now, the new branding. And this is the Precision Cutter. So this one is the Precision Knife. This one, the weird one. The weird one. And this is the Precision Cutter. This is the one, I would say you have it either in conjunction with a pen cutter. This is the new thin pen cutter. Or a craft knife. Or a scalpel. So those are the two. As long as you've got that I forgot what it is now. The 10518 straight edge. As long as you've got one with that blade in, the precision cutter is a teeny tiny little blade in there, and it's perfect for the finest details. You can get them with a delicate hand and the right angle using any of these other tools, but the precision cutter, just keep double checking, it's the precision cutter, not the precision knife. Yeah, precision cutter. It's such a teeny tiny little blade in there. It's worth having this one alongside one of these others. That's my recommendation. I use this one a lot, especially in on the scratch board. It's fantastic. I don't think though that it's got a changeable blade. I think it's fixed. I need to double check that actually, but I think it is fixed. So Another good thing to have is just a dusting brush, because you're going to be removing a lot of pigment you want to be brushing away. This was a brush I bought for applying gold leaf. It's really, really soft. You can use blusher brushes and things. I'm sure you've all got your own. I'll show you briefly. Let me just zoom in on here. Not on me. I always do this. Up to here. Okay, let's take the zoom in. A little bit more. I have to say, apologise for my nails as well. I am a nail technician. It was basically between getting the donkey done today or doing my nails. I'm sorry, I had to get the donkey done. So to change the blades, really simple. You just unscrew, pull the blade out. Let's just pick one to go in there. Let's pick the... I'll just pop in the chisel tip blade. So literally just... I think this one fits in here. Maybe this one doesn't fit in here. Maybe I've just chosen a blade. That is the right width. That's not happening. I was about to say it's as simple as that. Maybe I'm just... Maybe it will only take one blade in there. This happened last time. I took something out, went to pop, there we go, I didn't have it going in right. There we go. So literally you just slide it straight back in there. It was because I was trying to push it in at an angle. I think maybe when we snapped this the other day that we've caused some damage. There we go. But you can push it in as much as you like. I would recommend pushing it in as far as you can, because otherwise you're running that risk of snapping the blade, and then you just literally tighten it up again. And that's it, it's not moving. And you've got your blade there, good to go. And again, you can turn that blade upside down if you wanted to as well. That's in the cutting position. I'd probably have it the other way around, because I tend to use my blade upside down, which I will show you now if we get on to doing some demos. Any questions? It is quite straightforward. I know a lot of you use these tools. I just wanted to show you the range of what's here, and what I think is good about them. I can't go back to using metal blades, they just don't do the same job. So, obviously you know Husky Pup, working on drafting film, working on Never Tear, working on the aqua board that I've been working, the aqua board, the clay board that I've been working on, scratch board. You achieve this texture solely through using the blade. You know that I just smoosh all of the pigment together, and that is what gives me all the texture. So you can just see there. That's how, I mean, all of the fur texture is literally created it. Make your own scratch board with ink on clayboard. No, Avril, no, someone, was it yourself that pointed out? Someone was talking about this in the group yesterday. I don't get enough time to do anything. I've got so many things to do. And then they mentioned to me about making your own ink on, putting ink on clayboard to make your own scratch board. And it's such a therapeutic thing doing that donkey today. I'll pull it in. Just zoom out again. So this is the donkey I was working on today, and it is such a beautiful surface to work on. So again, all of the texture was all created just using the slice tools. So all the little hairs on the chin, everything was just created using the slice. Using upside down, the right way up, little short stubby strokes, long flicks, everything, the whiskers, all of it, just... And that's on the clay board, and it is so soft and smooth, but I started it out obviously a couple of days ago, which you saw on, oh god, this aqua board, which is made by Ampersand as well, but it's just so textured and horrible. You can see the graininess of a pencil going down, whereas the pencil going down on here was just so smooth. But now I know that I can put ink over the top and then scratch through to create your own version of scratch board. I'm going to do it, because the scratch board that I've got cost a fortune, and as you can see, look, the light on it, it's really shiny, it's really reflective, so it's a nightmare. I can't do a tutorial or anything using it because it's so shiny, but it is great. If I just take that light off there. It is great for doing this demo. So now that the focus is working, I'll be able to zoom in. But yeah, looking to create my own scratch board with the clay board will be amazing. Let me just pop him off to one side. Let's pop this one off to one side. I mean, for me, my slice tool, possibly my mono eraser, are of equal value to me with creating as my pencils. I'd say I couldn't do... I could cope, I suppose. I'd have to adjust how I work. But my slice is as equal as importance in creating as my pencils. I use it as one of my knives, basically. As one of my pencils, it fills in. So this is where we struggled last time. I know I've got some reflection from the lights, so I'm going to lift that up. We're going to let me just adjust all of this a second. Zoom in here. Make sure we have got focus. I'm going to have to lift that up a little bit because it's reflecting the light. And this is the problem. Actually, I could do it straight onto that clay board. Let's have a look. Zoom in here. But for those of you that watched last time, hopefully this looks a lot more in focus than last time. Please say yes. I'm just adjusting the focus down again. There we go. So these are some of the marks that we did do last time. So I'm going to move this across. Get it to an area so we've got no reflection. And I'm just going to pull in some of the tools. So we've got the little precision cutter, which was the really, really tiny blade. See how small the blade is on there. So again, you can come in. Let's just try and put that light on. It reflects. It's okay. So now this one does teeny. It's very blunt, this one actually. So I need to use a little bit more pressure, but it does really tiny, tiny strokes, really thin strokes. Is that showing up okay? It looks in focus. I hope it stays in focus. So then if we came in then with the 10518 blade, I will know these, the straight edge, which is the one that comes in all the other tools. If I do the same thing here with the blade upside down, a little bit blunt, but you can see the difference, that how thin those little lines are there compared to the 10518. Now I tend to use it upside down there. Avril going, man, got a dash, husband has cooked. Oh, hope it's something good, Avril. So if I turn it the right way up, you can get thinner strokes from doing this the right way up. So I do one next to there. It doesn't like... It's quite hard going on the scratch board, but then if I come in here with, you can see the difference just by working the right way up. So that's one way of doing two different size strokes with the same blade. The correct way up, so in other words, if you were cutting, you can get a thinner cut, and obviously if you lighten your pressure, you can go thinner and thinner and thinner again. Really, really, really thin it down. If you want to chunk it up and take out lots, just come in like this. And you can just take away a load of pigment. It's just all about, a bit like with your pencils, if you want it a thicker stroke. You blunt, obviously you slightly blunter pencil, but if you press harder you get a slightly wider stroke. The lighter and the finer your point. The good thing with this is, because they don't go blunt, you get, with the Husky Pup, for example, I have to keep sharpening my pencils. If I want a consistent line, as soon as I get to the end of doing one line, especially on pastel mat, my end of my pencil will start becoming blunt and wider. So the stroke at the beginning could be super fine. By the end of a stroke, it's starting to get a little bit thicker, even if it's hardly visible to the eye. After, say, 5 or 6 strokes, it could start to become visible to the eye, on a smoother paper like pastel matte, you can keep your pencil nib sharper and fine for longer, but it still is going to blunt. The tool on here, the most consistent, finest line that I can create is with my blade. That's why I use the blade to create all of the texture, because it is consistent. Because that ceramic blade is not blunting, especially on one piece of artwork. So again, you can come in, you can do different things. You can stipple, so you can literally come in, start creating the texture on, say, a dog's muzzle. Just literally stub it. Stippling just like with your pencils. Okay. But it is perfect for creating fur. And just be confident with it. Just go in with it. Don't be scared. Just go in, because you can go in with your pencils over the top and put pigment back in there if you need to. But just don't be scared. So that's with the blade upside down, going in quite firm. Let's do the same thing now. Let's come across here. I'm going to do the same thing here now with the blade the right way up. And you'll just see it's a little bit finer. And you can angle your blade as well. You know what I mean? You can just change, just have a play with it as well. And create so many different lines. Lots of different textures. It's not looking great, that. It's like the pen cutter. It doesn't matter, Kim. This is the craft knife, but it's the same blade. The reason I'm using the craft knife is because it's more visible. If I came in with the pen cutter and showed you some of those things, you wouldn't see my blade. It's quite hidden, and that's what they've said. They've designed this new pen cutter, a slim one, so this is exactly the same. This one's a bit blunt. So this is exactly the same blade, as I was explaining, that I've got. It's the same end on it. It's got that rounded end, exactly the same as we've got here in the craft knife. It's got a sharper angle there, but it is the same rounded tip on there. It's just a bit more harder demonstrating with this. This is the new slim pen cutter. So if you look at the difference, again, it's manual. Only thing we didn't like about this, I know Anita, I think you bought one as well, you'll agree. The whole point of it is for us artists, well, it's not. They say they've designed this one for the artists, they haven't. It's just they think that for us it will make it more beneficial because you can see more of the blade. So when we're demonstrating on video and we're holding it like this, you can't see the blade on the old pen cutter, but the new slim one, you can see it. Treacle is glued to this demo. But yeah, so this is the new one. I just think the blade comes out a little bit too far. I'm a bit worried about it, but it's exactly the same blade. But I think for demonstrating, for me doing the videos, if I use this one, I'm just really conscious, like when I'm doing the tutorials, you need to be able to see me using the blade. With a pen cutter, even though it feels fab to hold, really, really fab to hold, really weighty, the new one, the new manual slim pen cutter, I think I've got a box, here we go. So it's the manual slim pen cutter, that's the new one. And it's got the exact same blade, the 10404 that you get in the pen cutter itself. So this one feels the nicest. The original pen cutter feels lovely. Obviously, if you're doing demos or anything like that online, this one is much more visible. I tend to think, if I'm not demoing, I'll probably use this with the blade further in. It just gives me a little bit more control, and it doesn't make me worry. When it's fully extended, I just feel that it's a little bit vulnerable. Especially when they say that, you know, if you use it at the wrong angle, it could snap. Yeah, I'm not sure. So that is it on the scratch board, because that just shows up really well some of the different things that you can do. This was it on the clay board, what was it? The aqua board. So again, on here, this has got Inktense, dried Inktense. Now when I was doing it yesterday, it was coming through really well, but I was doing it whilst the pigment was still wet. So So I'm not quite sure, and so it's working really well. I'm not quite sure how well. So this will take it back. There you go. So you can just see again. I'm not really bothered about this. So again, just various strokes. Not using much pressure. You can see the pigment coming off. Just don't be afraid. Just really do. Just get stuck in. And it's simple as that for creating. And then if you come in the right way up, you can just do finer lines. But that is my best thing. Just put a load of pigment on some paper, different papers. People say, can you do it on different papers? Yeah, you can do it on smooth paper, you can do it on pastel matte, drafting film, never tear. This is the clay board. I wouldn't use it on velour or suede matte because you are going to damage your surface. And then, like I say, you can just come in then. Let's grab a pencil. You can come in then, as long as you've got a nice sharp pencil, you can come in and you can basically fill in that pigment if you want to. That's not quite sharp enough. But you can come back in here. Let's just come in here. So where you take it away back down to virgin paper, you can then come back in and fill that if you want. So again, doing your whiskers. So down here, you just pop in some crazy whiskers. But just be nice and firm, just go for it. Don't be afraid. That is the main thing I say to you, don't be afraid. If you want to, obviously, you can come in and do really, 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 really fine little marks if you want to, really light pressure, and build it up. It will give you a different texture. When I was creating the donkey today, I used loads of different strokes, loads of different pressures to get the different look on here. And then of course as well here, you can just see up here, I've gone in with the knife and then I've come back in, put this light back up now. I've gone in with the knife and then I've come back in with my pencils and gone in over the beginning and the end. This is one thing, if you do make first strokes, what you then need to do is come in and just soften the beginning and the end, and that will give you that lovely curve to your fur as well. You see it more on this side. So you can see I've just softened the end with a little bit of colour and softened this end with a bit of colour, and it just gives it that lovely curve rather than a flat look to it. And I've used the knife all over here. You need pigment down, that's the one thing, you need loads of pigment down. On here you didn't need quite as much. I only had a little bit of pigment down in these areas, but I still had some. You need pigment down for it to be able to show. I'll just soften the end of here. And you can use it as well for kind of lifting away any mistakes as well. But yeah, clay board, absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to get this tutorial, start editing it tomorrow and hopefully get it up for you. Really quick one, I think just over 4 hours, and that's from laying the line drawing down. Camera 1, laying the line drawing down to finishing them really, putting ink tents down, adding water. It dries really quickly, the clay sucks up the wet media. So rather than like pastel matte, when I say leave it overnight, I was working on this, I think I didn't even stop the video, I carried on. Time I'd added it all, it was drying out enough for me to be able to go in and start doing all the knife work. So it's a super quick surface to work on. Pop it here. Pastel mats. So the other thing as well you got to think about with your slice is what colour surface you're working on. So it's no good thinking, oh, I want white whiskers to show up, and you're working on something like the brown pastel mat, because if I scrape back on here, it's going to scrape back to brown. So on here, I might scrape back, if I've got lots of brown flecks in the muzzle of a dog or something, then, and I'm working on brown paper, then I think, okay, I can do that with my knife at the end. I can make that, all that muzzly brown bits come through, all those brown flecks in a brindle dog. If you're working on brown paper, if you're working on dark grey, whatever you scrape it back to, that is what's going to show through. So you can think ahead, like I say with Harry, sort of like, you know, plan every stage, think ahead. You can think right at the beginning of like, okay, I'm working on that paper, so right at the end, what's my knife going to do for me? And that's what I always do. So if I rarely work on white. If I do work on white, then I go, okay, the white whiskers, knife at the end. I haven't got to worry about those at all. You can indent them at the beginning if you want to, but especially on drafting film or the clay board, I know that my knife will do that for me at the end, not a problem. Pastel mat with all the layers, a little bit more difficult. This has got, I think, some pencil down. Let me just get some more pencil down on here. I've got some light fast here. Just going to get a little bit more layers down on here. So the next demo we're going to do will be, I think I need to start on pencils. So we'll do a comparison between our the more opaque pencils and our translucent pencils, the difference between some of them, why you would use some over others in certain situations. So I'm just literally piling on a little bit of pigment here, probably using more than a pressure 3. So this is on the white pastel mat. I'll grab the craft knife again because it's good visibility. So again, exactly the same principle. You can come in, depending on how much pressure you use as to how many layers you can take it back. If you wanted to just come in and take it back to the previous layer, just come in with a lighter pressure and it'll just take it back to the purple rather than the white. And again, using different strokes, turn it the right way up, you get a thinner stroke. If you want to take away a lot of pigment, yeah, you can just take it away. But just be confident. That's the biggest thing I can say to you, be confident. So then if you wanted to come in here, you could come in with a sharp pencil, and then you've got, it does damage the tooth a little bit, but you can see there, I can come right back in there then and put pure orange down through where I've lifted that strip away. So you can use it again almost like an eraser or a correcting tool. If you've got too much pigment down in an area, you think, oh, I really don't like that colour, you just lift it away with either your tape or you can use your blade to lift away with as well. I'll just do a quick demo. Any questions, anything else you want me to show you? Because I think I'm pretty much covering everything. I'm going to show you, I've got some pan pastel here, I'm covered in pigment. And let's just try it, because people say, oh, does it work on pan pastel or pastels? The answer is yes, to a degree, but if you think about it, when we build up colour pencils, the oils and the wax and all the amount of layers, it all sticks together and becomes really almost like a solid but pliable surface, but it's a real slick surface. So if you cut a knife through it, it's going to give a sharp, clean cut. Pastel is powder, so if you think about trying to cut through powder, it's going to leave you with a powdery edge, so it's not going to be as sharp as if you've got a ton of layers of pencil down. Let's just do it. So I'm just going to pop some pan pastel down here. I haven't got a big sponge, so I'll just sort of do it with this little applicator. And like I say, it depends again how much pigment you've got down, how much grit you've got on your paper as well. So I'm putting a few good layers down there of pan pastel. So let's come in again with our knife. Can I zoom in any more? Yeah, a little bit more. How is my light? Lift that light. Okay, so let's come in here. I'll come in upside down first of all. So this should take away a big chunk. As you can see, it's lifting away a little bit, but because it's powder, it's really not working as well as we'd want it to. It's not working anywhere near as well as when we do it through colour pencil. So it will work, but just not as well. I think if you could combine the two, you could, you know, like I say, use lots of pressure, take away, you can take away lots of pressure, going in with confidence. So you can create that fur texture through there. Excuse me. And then you could come in with, let's come in with that orange again. So you could then come in and lay pencil into those grooves. So it has got a use, it's not as comparable as if you were doing it using the colour pencils though, just because it is powder. It's as simple as that. So I think, I don't even know what time it is, where are we? Oh, it is nearly an hour. So does that help? I don't think there's much else I can show you or explain to you really. It's just the main thing is, don't worry so much about the tool. See if you know, try and get a good price on them. I have got discount codes that will give you 10% off of the UK and Ireland site, and also the US site. There's no other codes set up at the moment. And I will pop those into the description, and also I'll pop them out on Patreon tomorrow. I think it's Animal Art by Law 10 and Animal Art by Law 10 UK. And you get 10% discount, and also Slice will match it with another 10% donated to a charity of my choice, which is the Donkey Sanctuary here in the UK. So if I try and put the code into the chat, it picks up Animal Art by Law and tags me in, and then separates out the digits. It's got to be all one word. So I'll try and put it in the description, and also I'll post it out on Patreon tomorrow for you guys. So 10% off of the main tools is good, because I think if you order off the main site, usually in the US, if you spend over a certain amount, and in the UK you get free postage as well, so there's no offers on anyone else. And even if you want to buy the replacement blades, 10% off is better than nothing. So yes, so let's switch out again. There we go. Answered all your questions. Yes, so if there's anything else, just ask me. But the main thing is, again, is just remembering that it's just the blades that mattered, and you want that 105/18, the straight edge, but basically you want the rounded blade, and it's the ones that come as standard. And the only difference is with, like say, which tool you get is which one feels good in the hand. I've got small hands. I like the craft knife. The pen cutter feels fab. Really, you know, nicely weighted. This precision knife, you know, it is fantastic, works both ways, really great if you get the hang of it. It's just that wibble. I might wrap some tape around here to make it like a smaller area and tighter on my finger. I think I will use that one a lot more, because this one gives the real best control. And then of course the little precision cutter, I would definitely go for one of those as well. I might have to get a new one, the orange and white one as well. And then you've got obviously the new manual pan cutter, which is a bit like I think it's just like a craft knife, basically, a small craft knife. I remember the ones that used to come and you used to snap the blade off, the metal blade. Oh, and I used to wrap tissue on and snap, and oh, that was a horrible thing to do when it was a metal blade. So yeah, those are my top 5 recommendations for the blades. I'm not an official ambassador or representative. I turned down that job. I work with Slice. I use their products. They sponsor my workshops. They work with me, promote me, but I'm not signed up with any contracts or anything with them like other people are. So this is a true and honest and unbiased representation for you guys, really, because I want you to use the best tools and understand why, and also hopefully save money by not buying the right ones. And I've looked, and there's no one else. They've patented these. I've said it again, patented these blades. So I have bought a cheaper couple of versions from China for like a couple of quid, and they're just not the same. So they are good. Barry, late but here. Got my days mixed up. Got your days mixed up? I've got them very mixed up. Oh, cool. £10 for pre-postage on the UK Slice site. Yeah, so 10% off, and so you get yourself a little bit cheaper. And I think they're doing free postage as well on Amazon. Amazon is another place. I think I bought, keep an eye out on Amazon, because I think... Which one is it? I think these craft cutters, so I'll check and I'll get you the Amazon affiliate link as well for it. I'm pretty sure that these, every now and again, I think they're about £14 or £15. Every now and again on Amazon, these will come up for £4.95 or £4 something. I don't know about the US, but here they will pop up. You're only allowed to buy 1 or 2 of them. But again, keep your eye out for bargains. If ever I spot them, I'll share them. If they're still available. I've managed to nab these, I think, once, and I did share it in the group once last year. So any bargains, obviously grab yourself something and then share it with everybody else. Film, do you actually what? Oh, sorry, I've missed a question there. Cassie. What have I missed, Cassie? On film, do you actually scratch into film? Film as in drafting film, I think you meant there. Yes, this was on drafting film. All of the texture of the Husky Pup and everything else I've done on film, the fox, everything. I think the snow leopard I did years ago was using the metal blade. But yeah, you scratch into the film. I thought I had a piece of film here to demo on. I know I did it on the first went round, but I don't seem to have it here. But you can watch that on the Husky Pup video anyway. I use it all the way through on that one. And again, go in with confidence. Just really go in with confidence, and then you'll put your pencil in over the top, and the pencil will just skip over your scratch lines. But if you want it to sink in, you just sharpen your pencil up, put it up at a higher angle, and go in and push the pigment down into any of the cuts. It's great, and then you can cut some more and then it'll skip over the surface. I love it. It's a brilliant way of working and really therapeutic as well. So we shall round this up there. Hope that it's obviously, explained a few things. And as I say, next month we will get on with, we've got lots of things coming up. I'll be putting a post out in the next couple of days. We're going to do more fur studies, the black curly fur, the black shiny fur. I'll be demonstrating, the next live one of these will be the difference in the pencils, and then I'm going to build up to doing the differences in the different papers and demonstrating those and talking through those. Might even do pastels, we shall see. Let's get rid of that second. And then... oh yeah, we've got the Never Tear tutorial as the main tutorial coming up next month. Another guest artist one. I'm putting guest artist ones out because obviously we're packing up to move house and hope to be moving in the next 6 weeks. We don't know. We just hope for the best, and I'll be setting up a new studio in the workshop space, etc. So the guest artist tutorials are going to be fab anyway. So it's the little English bulldog puppy on Never Tear in colour pencils, and of course I'll be putting out tutorials as well anyway over the next month, so there you go. Okay, right, I shall say good night. Thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully there was no buffering, no power cuts. I was here throughout, you heard me throughout, you could see what I was doing throughout for this one, and you hopefully learnt something. It was just nice to see you and have a natter anyway. So I shall get all the new dates out. I'm going to work them out this week in a new calendar of dates of the next live sessions for September. And I will speak to you all again very soon. Okay, guys, so take care for now and look after yourself if you're out there. Hurricanes, gales, storms, whatever you're facing. And thank you very much, Megan and Susan, for sitting in there and keeping an eye on the chat for me. You need some blades. Yeah, Staples. Just check Staples out. You never know. Oh, and hi, Susan from Ontario as well. Fabulous. Thanks, Barry. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it should play back okay, Barry, and not like last time. Right, guys. Thank you very much. I'm going to shoot off and get couched up on the sofa with my blanket and the doggies. Bye.